Okay, it's looking like everything at the Rippaverse is at full swing. They are full steam ahead, moving forward, giving us some really good comic books. The next thing I want to talk about is this great war of separation. If you've been following the Rippaverse, you know that Texas is its own country. And what a Texas thing to do in a comic book. Hey, I don't blame Eric July. I dig it. I dig it. But we've got bits and pieces of what's going on without any real explicit detail. This book is going to give the detail on what happened and how Texas became an independent country, nation state all on its own. Maybe there's other nation states. I don't know. I don't know what the makeup of the Ripperverse is outside of that. And I am looking forward to this. So let's get to this video and see what is going on here.
I don't like talking about it. But we should talk about it more as a nation. It was an all...
Yo, is there another? This is something I've thought about. Maybe you super sleuths out there might know. Is there another independent comic book company? I mean, like completely independent, not attached to Marvel, DC, Image, any of that, that's doing stuff like this? I'm sure there is. I'm not well versed on the independent comic space. I'd say in the past 2 or 3 years or so, I am just beginning to get up to speed on what's going on in with some of these different independent comic books. But let me know in the comments if there's anything else like this out there that I can highlight doing videos like this, promotion videos and trailer videos for upcoming comic books.
Already fractured territory. Texas today is not Texas of yesteryear.
I like the art
What
so
seemed
far.
like a usual international conflict changed the lives of everybody.
Man, I like that art
Especially
right
me.
there. Great War of Separation. This, I think this might, I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing series. I don't know that it would need to be. I'm assuming this is more of a one shot explaining what happened to cause this separation and usher Texas into being its own nation state. 2025 is gonna be, woo, they're really going back to back with these books.
There's an upcoming project, The Great War of Separation. This is a major, major event in the Rippaverse universe. It's written by me, drawn by Jack Herbert. It looks astounding. The artwork.
I didn't know who Jack Herbert was before this, but I got something pulled up and we'll read a little bit about him and see some of his artwork from other things he's worked on.
Looks astounding. But the thing you need to know as
That
a
picture
Rippaverse
right
fan
there,
is
that things like this, small things like this excite me. The way this looks to me is very good. To me, this is the mark of a good artist. Like I think I'm gonna enjoy this book, the way they're flushing out the stories, flushing out the backstory, telling you what happened, how these characters came to be in a 2 year span. Think about this, in a 2 year span, what they've built out here, man, it's kind of monumental in my humble opinion.
the story takes place decades ago and explains how Texas became an independent state from the rest of the United States.
I
and
wonder,
how-
hey, does that look like ISOM in that picture right there? Is that supposed to be ISOM? I don't know. Is that, maybe it is. Maybe it's, I don't know. Huh. I'm curious about that now.
States, and how a lot of the characters that you already love in these stories came to be, how they got their powers, what makes them Excepts and what is an Except. And a lot of this is explained in The Great War of Separation, coming soon from me and artist Jack Herbert. This is a great big honkin' origin story that that you're going to need to read.
I wonder if moments like this are going to be looked at in the future. Like, yo, when this thing launched, it was something special. I think that's a possibility. So here is, let's go to his bio. This is Jack Herbert. Now, I notice I'm assuming because of the connection that Eric July has with Joe Bennett, I think Joe Bennett has been maybe recommending different artists from Brazil because they're picking up a lot of talent from Brazil. Yo, Brazil has some talented artists for real. Okay, Jack Herbert, born in Brazil, he was interested in drawing since childhood and grew up under the influence of comics in the 1990s. In my humble opinion, one of the best eras. I'm not going to say the best, I'm going to say one of the best eras for comic books. The early, I would say the late 80s, early 90s, man, comic books were really, I mean, top tier, top of the game, probably one of the most exciting times. Okay, self-taught, he started doing small jobs as an illustrator at the age of 18. At the end of 2000, he had his first contact with an agent who worked with the comic book industry in the United States. Through a lecture in 2005, he joined the Glasshouse Graphics Agency. In 2006, he completed his degree in business administration, and that same year, he started his professional career as a comic book artist. In 2008, he released his first monthly work, New Battlestar Galactica Season 0 for Dynamite Entertainment. I might have to pick that up. The following year, he became, and the reason I say that, if you watched the Sci-Fi Channel Battlestar Galactica reboot, man, that was one of the best sci-fi series I've ever watched in my entire life. Okay, he says, the following year, he became an exclusive artist for the same company where he worked until 2014, drawing titles such as Queen Sonya, The Shadow, Avengers, Invaders, Project Superpowers, and the comic that honored the centenary of Jack Kirby, Kirby Genesis, which featured the interaction of his art with that of Alex Ross and Kurt Busiek's scripts. Pretty interesting. Still, in 2014, he started his career at DC Comics. He worked for DC, working on several projects such as Superman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and the Green Lantern Corps, Superman, The Flash, Task Force Z, Hawkgirl, The Silencer. Yo, he worked on a silent. Yo, that's crazy. Here's what's funny. I was reading The Silencer. This was part of DC's New Age of Heroes. I had no idea that was his art. Yo, okay. This dude is good. I like The Silencer. I guess they weren't really selling well, the DC New Age of Heroes. Silencer, Damage. It was a Hulk knockoff, but it was a good book. I guess they weren't really selling well and they canceled those books. I wish they would have kept them going. I really enjoyed them. Anyway, so he worked on Silencer. Man, I had no idea. I'm going to go back and read my Silencer books now. Action Comics, Wonder Woman, Annual Dark Crisis, among others. So I guess I did know who he was. Sometimes I read comic books and don't even look at who the artist is. I just enjoy the book. And The Silencer was very good. I have to see if he penciled all of the issues or if he just did some of the issues. So they got a little gallery here showing some of his work. Can I make this bigger? I guess I can't make it bigger, but nonetheless, he does some good pencil work. He really does some good pencil work. So I'm excited. The one thing I can say about the Rippaverse so far is it appears to me that quality is the name of the game. Now, before someone comments or says something out there, because I know it's coming, oh, this one of Lino is really good. I didn't say flawless. I said quality. No company's going to be perfect. And of course, there have been growing pains with the Rippaverse being brand new. But with that said, as I said, Eric July really is getting quality talent. because all the books I've seen so far, I haven't seen a book that I've said to myself, "Oh, I just don't like this art at all." I can recognize that some of the Rippaverse books, some art is better than others, right? There's different tiers of art, but all of it, in my opinion, is good art. And look, for me, might be different for you, but that's a big difference from what I've seen from the mainstream comic book industry. It kind of appears that they're taking a very lazy approach to uh, acquiring talent. Let's put it that way, because some of the art that I've seen from the big two, ugh, it's rough. It's really rough. So Jack Herbert, my man, I like what I'm seeing thus far. The Rippaverse firing on all cylinders. This year, Lord willing, is going to be a very good year for Rippaverse comics, and I'm excited to see all of these books that they got coming out.